already moments away.
Okay.
We're actually live, but I just haven't told nobody yet. Don't tell nobody yet.
I can't do much. Just sitting here in the driver's seat, which infuriates you.
Well, that's not supposed to happen. Why is this happening? That's just strange. But that's all right. We'll get rid of that right now. Okay, so here we go. We're back. Finally, ready for another live stream. It's been a couple weeks. Everything's been insane, and tonight Anthony's not even here because it's still insane on his part. But I've got my friend Dia with me.
You're listening to the Unframe of Mind show.
Kind of random.
The most mind-stretching, unprotected intellectual intercourse of your life. Your host, Daniel Wagner, battles the forces of evil by lobbing fiery balls of truth, reason, and evidence over safe room walls.
Alrighty, and we're back. And there be Dia picking that nose. Yeah, girl.
Yeah, like
So yeah, as I alluded to in the intro, though, it's been an insane couple of weeks. A lot of family stuff going on. Anthony's doing a lot of transitionary type things, moving and whatnot, so he couldn't join us today. But luckily, because of your transitionary things going on, you were able to have the time to join me today on my show, which normally you would have had to call into work, right?
Yeah. So I don't have the job I had, but that doesn't mean I'm not earning an income in another way. But yeah, so I'm here with...
Oh, you've been reduced to street hooking now? I'm sorry, honey. I mean, you got the face for it.
I'm a street walker. Thank you. I'm a street walker.
Yeah.
I'm really good at it.
That explains the scarf hiding up those marks, yeah?
Yeah. All the hickeys are hidden.
Oh, that's
wow. It's winter here. It's cold.
It's
probably summer there.
It's in the middle of the summer right now. It didn't even dawn on me that maybe it's winter elsewhere. That's amazing. So tons of snow everywhere.
Indeed.
Oh yeah.
It's rainy here. We don't have snow unless you go to the mountains. We don't have snow.
So for those of you who don't know my friend Dia, she has a YouTube channel, Dia Beltran, and is that what you've titled it now? We think we established that last time. You've been on the show quite frequently, and she's recently. She's in Australia right now. It's like 10 o'clock in the morning for her. The next day, it's Thursday morning for her. So you actually took a moment out of your busy day to come be on my little podcast way over here in the U.S.
Well, I'm in the car. Yeah, I've traveled a fair way from where I normally live. I won't tell anyone where I am, but I'm helping my sister out with the kids, and it's good. I get to spend time with my family. It's really good.
Right on. Well, I mean, we don't want to get you doxxed or anything like that. I mean, that would be not good. So.
Well, it's already happened once.
We don't want to continue that process. So
No.
Just for folks who don't know, I've been pretty intimately involved in the story, and I kind of know what's been going on. You've kept me updated, but nobody else knows what you've been going through lately. It's kind of the same pattern that most people who dare to have an opinion go through, but you want to just kind of go over just give a brief background story on what's been going on and where you're at now and what your mindset is going forward.
Yeah. So I've often been a big believer in you can hang out with who you want. It doesn't make their opinion your opinion. It doesn't make your actions their actions. Like, I'm a big believer in that. And so being a believer in that particular mindset, I had an idea, and the idea was, because for those who don't know, on Daniel's channel, I happen to be a Christian.
Wait. Hold on. You're a Christian? See, all this time I thought you were an anarchist atheist like me, so that's the only reason I was even hanging out with you. Is because I thought that you believed exactly what I believed. That's not
that's the thing. That's exactly what I'm about. Hanging out with people who are different to me.
Oh, fuck.
Idealistically. Fuck.
We're done here. We can't even be friends anymore.
Bye. But as a Christian, I obviously oppose people altering biblical doctrine to suit their lifestyle. I don't believe in doing that. I think that the Bible is what it is. You can't change it. It must stay as it is. The Bible stands no matter what. So I thought this will be a really good idea. I'm going to go to a progressive church and I'm going to record their sermon, ask them questions, and then do a video review. And I went with a friend who has yet to be identified, so I'll keep her private so no one bullies her. And I told my friend at the time, his name is Neil, the story. And he's like, let me come. And I was like, no. I said, it's okay. And he goes, no, let me come. I'm like, okay, you can come, but this is what I'm doing. And then it was like, yeah, no worries. So then he comes along.
Sorry to interrupt, but the plan was basically go in, capture some video footage of these people doing what they're doing or saying what they're saying, and then you were going to take that footage and go back to your studio and then do some kind of like a rebuttal on what their points were, basically a point-by-point breakdown on what they were saying.
That was it.
That was the whole plan. Okay.
That was the whole plan. Very boring.
What a terrible plan. It's a terrible plan. I've never heard of anybody do that ever in my whole life. Hashtag Project Veritas. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. And so then in the car on the way to the church, Neil is saying things like, you got to do it live. I said, no, I don't want to. He goes, yeah, you got to do it live on your channel. Do it. And I'm like, no, I don't want to. Do it. Come on. It's good for the views. I was like, I don't want to do it live on my channel. If you want to do it live, well, then put it live on your channel, but it has nothing to do with me. That's pretty much what I said. And he goes, oh, Dia, you got to, you can't let people control you. You can't let people tell you what to do. You got to do what you want to do. It's all about views. That's by not realizing the fact that he's doing that very thing to me. Pressuring me to do something I really don't want to do.
It didn't even cross his mind. Didn't even occur to him that he might be doing exactly what he's telling you not to let people do to you.
Yeah, cognitive dissonance.
Oh, Jesus.
It exists on the left as it does on the right, and also it exists in the center for you centrists. But anyway.
Wait, you're listen, I'm sorry to interrupt. You keep blowing my mind with all these ideas, like the idea that there's
I don't want to project onto you, don't I?
Cognitive dissonance on all sides. Like, what are you talking about? I'm sorry. No way.
What? Yeah. And so I said, okay. I said fine, but it's not happening on my channel at all. If you're gonna do it, it's gonna be on your channel, and it has nothing to do with me. I said, don't name me or whatever. First thing he did was name me. And
right, yeah, very first
thing, and I'm like, shit. I'm like, oh. And then by that point, I should have walked away and been like, nah, he named me, I'm walking away. But I didn't do that. I just played along after that. And then we're sitting there listening to what they're saying, and then eventually it became degenerates this and sodomites that, and I'm like, shit. Like, I thought he had enough respect for me that he would have not done that after naming me. I'm going down with the ship here. And then, so it's pretty bad. He's taken down any video that has ever had anything to do with me on his channel. And I've done the same on my channel. I did it first, I think.
Okay.
So, we're definitely not... I don't hate the guy. Like, if I see him at a rally or at an event, I'm not going to be rude to him because I'm not a nasty person. But I don't think it's like, I've gotten so many warnings by so many people throughout the years, and I've never listened. I'm always like, no, I believe in making up my own mind. I'm a kind person. I make up my own mind about people. He's always been kind to me because he has always been kind to me. But I think after this, it's sort of like, well, God bless him. I hope he's okay. But it's not wise to participate in activities with someone who doesn't care what the ultimate effects are to me. And he did apologize. He sent me a text saying, I'm sorry about what happened at the church. But at the same time, he then made a video saying you never take a bull to a china shop, just like you never take Neil to a gate.
Still trying to blame you for the... Okay.
Yeah, says that don't blame other people. He goes, why do you blame other people? You can't deflect. But the whole time, he's been deflecting back onto me. So it's funny, he's saying don't blame other people. I acknowledge that I stuffed up by allowing him to come. I actually have said that the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
I stuffed up. I'm the one that allowed him to come along. I'm the one that was stupid and gullible and naive enough to think that it could have gone differently. That's all on me. I completely acknowledge that. But his actions are on him as well. And he's been doing this activism stuff for over 10 years. I'm sort of doing it for maybe 3 years. So sure, he knew that I was going to bear the brunt of what happened, which is the left calling my employer and harassing them.
Right. So basically, after this whole thing goes down, then people on the left decide to get a hold of it, and they use it as a battering ram to get your employer to pressure you to quit your job.
Yeah, and the funny thing is too, what I did was enable bad behavior, right? So like what I did was allow him to say horrible things to these peaceful worshippers that are distorting the Bible. That what they're doing is heresy, but like they're not hurting anyone. They're just sitting there peacefully twisting the Bible, and he's there calling them degenerates whilst at the same time acting like one.
Wait, so you're saying that they were just sitting there peacefully twisting the Bible, and he's a Christian as well?
He claims to be one. I don't think.
And you say you're a Christian as well too. So I mean, what's the fundamental difference between what they're doing and what you guys do?
Do you mean going to that church doing it? Well, that's the thing.
As far as just sitting around interpreting the Bible any which way you feel.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know what you meant. Exactly. Like what they're doing though is obviously we know that the Bible. They were calling God a woman. They were saying that God is gender neutral. They were saying that there's a lot of that God created the 72 genders. So what they were saying was actually nonsense. But they can say that. They're not hurting anyone by saying that. And what I was trying to get at was that Neil was acting like a degenerate whilst calling them degenerates. The approach was wrong, and that's what bothers me. But again, I'm not here to throw stones at Neil because he's been very effective, I suppose, in the past with his activism, and he's really made waves in certain ways. And I'm not here to pay him out because I'm a forgiving person, and he probably doesn't think if he watches this, which I highly doubt, but if he watches this, he'd probably be like, "Oh, how dare she?"
I feel like you were insulting my channel just now. I hear you, but go ahead.
I don't think he's aware of who you are. That's all. Like I have a lot of friends. Like,
oh, you just did it again. You doubled down. Your channel's so tiny, Daniel. Nobody knows who you are, so he'll never see it.
I'm sorry. No, I genuinely, it does come across that way. I'm sorry. That's rude, isn't it?
Sorry. I did not come across that way. I twisted it on purpose.
Okay, so mean. Yeah, look, I don't have any hate for anyone. I hope he's happy and successful in what he does. I hope he never gets hurt. I hope he's okay. But in terms of
So before you go on, that's kind of the interesting thing is, you know, when these types of events come up, and you know, in the battle for freedom and the battle for free speech and whatnot, it's going to take all different types of people. I mean, I know there's a lot of people that say, well, this is the right way to go about it, and that's the right way to go about it, and no, you're doing it all wrong. And I think it's going to take all types of different approaches. It's going to take the bull in the china shop.
The Neil Ericksons, which is why they're needed to a degree.
Yeah, so it's going to take those types. It's going to take more of the feminine touch, like the way you approach it, where you record somebody talking some stuff, and then you interpret it and you try to explain it and break it down. It's going to take statisticians and analysts. It's going to take people that are just, you know, being supportive and offering their donation dollars. Everybody has a role in this. It just so happens that his method and your method don't exactly meld very well together. Is that fair to say?
No, they don't. And I felt like really uncomfortable in there, and the approach was really wrong. And the funny thing is, I'm the one, for whatever reason, that you know, if you hear me in the video, you can hear me saying, "Leave them alone. You shouldn't hate. We shouldn't hate these people. We need to love everyone. You're being too aggressive." Like, you can hear me saying that in the video. Like, people know that I was on their side. What's funny is that it doesn't matter. I still got I'm still the one that suffered the consequences of just recording him. I didn't say anything.
Out of curiosity, I apologize to keep interrupting your story, but just out of curiosity, at any point did you did it cross your mind to just cut the feed and say, fuck this, I'm not I'm not doing this?
He took the phone off my hand.
Oh, he had the phone.
No, I had it, but then he did. So after a while, but no, sorry, to answer the question, no, none of that came to my mind. But he took the phone off me at one point, and then it was all in his hand, and I was like, I just sort of, I wanted to run away. I didn't want to be there. Like I didn't want to be complicit in those actions. It's yeah. But again, I fucked up, and I think, you know, all I can, it's just onward and upward from here. But again, he's, I don't hate anyone. They obviously all hate me because like they came after me individually, and my employer, like they came at me. They acted like I had shot all of them with a gun, when, you know, what I did was hold a phone. So, you know, the punishment certainly didn't fit the crime, but it's okay. Like I'm they can't get me down. I'm still a happy person. Like, it's really stupid. Like, they think that I can't get hired elsewhere ever again. They think I can't earn a wage ever again. It's really, really childish. And yeah.
Yeah. So our friend of the show, Ryan, says it's true though. No one knows who you are. Thanks, dude. And then he follows up by saying, "Just kidding, Daniel. I know who you are, and that's all you need." Aww.
Oh, lovely. Isn't that caring?
Well, I certainly hope that one day I can make a living off of this this video platform, this podcast, and if all I need is one guy, maybe we need to start changing the donation model to make it so one guy can support the whole project. How about that?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Not a bad idea.
Ryan, will you be my sugar daddy, please? That would be the functional term,
I
think.
you'd rather be a sugar daddy to a woman. So hey, Ryan, hit me up.
Oh, yeah, I see what's going on. See, I have a feeling if he's gonna have to choose between one of us, he's gonna go for you. I don't blame him. I don't blame him. He just something about the beard. He just doesn't really care for the beard being drug across his chin. You know what I'm saying?
Very Game of Thrones.
Yeah. So no, this is kind of cool that this is all been. I mean, it's not okay. I don't mean to say it's cool, but it's fascinating to see how you handle it, because up until now, it's like you've just been doing your channel, no drama, no problems. And then,
no drama, yeah.
Yeah, and then, you know, not really, maybe a little bit here and there, but nothing major. But then when you do finally hit some kind of major obstacle like this, it's always interesting to see how somebody handles that. And from my perspective, from my perspective, it seems like it did get you down for a minute or two as you were trying to get your head around all this, which is understandable. This is your first major hit that you've had to experience. But, you know, just over the last week, you seem happier now than you even did before. I don't know if maybe that's just a defiant happiness.
I don't know.
You don't
know. I don't know. I think I just feel like there's a lot of good things to come. I just interviewed Jessie Lee Peterson. That's premiering on my channel at 11 a.m. On Saturday.
Awesome.
I think it's 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. your Friday.
Congratulations on that, by the way. That was a pretty big get right there.
I was very excited. He's really nice. He loves me.
Yeah. I can't wait to see it. That's a cool dude. I love watching his content. I mean, he's kind of a crazy Christian, you know, probably crazier than most, but I do enjoy his content. His heart's definitely in the right place. I'll give him that. I would be interested to have him on the channel at some point, just maybe to talk about the fact that I'm an atheist and he's not. That would be fun.
I have to ask him permission to give you his email, because I don't want to just give his email to people and then he not like trust me.
Oh no. Just
if they're okay with me giving you his email, then I'm gonna give it to you, cool. as I've already stated to you in the past.
Very cool. Yeah, that'd be awesome. And I'm really happy for you that you've got back on your feet. You're still putting out content. You haven't stopped, you know, putting out new shows. You know, you're not letting this get you down. How's the job search going right now? I mean, besides, you know, working on the street corner that you do in the meantime.
Yeah, well, I get about $1,000 a week from sugar daddies. You know, the prostitution's doing well, but on top of that,
you broke character. I was really buying it. I was gonna take that clip and use that as the promo.
Yeah, you should. You should. That's so wrong. By the way, just before we get into my job search and stuff, do you know who Lana Lockteff is?
No, I was just thinking I need to take that clip. I'm sorry. I'm distracted as hell. I apologize. I need to take that clip and then send it to that leftist channel that you were having me interact with and say, look what you guys have done to her.
Are you talking about that on Facebook, that leftist page?
Do what?
That was a centrist. That was a former friend of mine. Wait, which leftist page?
I don't remember.
Are you talking about the guy who used to be my friend, or are you talking about a proper leftist Facebook page?
I think a proper leftist one. I
don't know.
Yeah.
You can send them that clip. That's fine.
Yeah, that'll work. So who was this person you asked me about?
Lana Lochte from Red Ice TV.
She's never heard of him.
A white ethno-nationalist.
Don't know.
Oh, well, she's coming on my channel soon. I just thought you knew who that was. Never mind.
An ethno-nationalist.
Yeah, I'm just going to ask her questions about why ethno-nationalism, like why that's better than civic nationalism, and she's got a big following. Red Ice TV, look it up.
That's interesting. It's interesting because, when I hear the term, and I think when most people hear the term ethno-nationalist, automatically the racist alert goes up on your
especially to an American ear, I think. But here in Australia, it doesn't have quite the same negative connotation. Still is negative, but I think people are a little bit more like, tell me about it. Like, a little bit more curious, whereas in America, it's like automatically evil.
It would be nice if people were actually more curious about these different terms and ideas, outside of the Democrat-Republican paradigm that we have here in the United States. I think yours is what, Labor Party, huh?
Liberal, yeah.
Yeah.
So Labor is your Democrat, Liberal would be our Republicans. Right. I know that's weird.
So for you guys to talk about the liberals, it's not the same thing as us talking about the liberals.
Yeah, no, not at all. But the thing is, our liberals are corrupt conservatives. We'd much rather a smaller party take power.
Wait, conservatives are corrupt too. Wait, politicians are corrupt. I feel like I'm just now starting to get this. I feel like I'm just now. It's
just getting a grasp on it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's something that I've been struggling with for quite some time now. I feel like politicians are the good guys all the time. Oh yeah.
No, shut up. But the good politicians.
you're gonna reveal all your hickeys and whatnot from your night job.
Yeah, see all my hickeys. So,
it's very nice.
It's hot in the car. It's just that I feel like career politicians are corrupt. The politicians who decide to enter because of the other politicians that are so corrupt, those are the ones I think can be somewhat worth being trusted, I would say. Like the Dr. Ben Carsons, the Carly Fiorinas, even the Donald Trumps, people who were not politicians to begin with, who become politicians, they're the ones that I would say can be trusted more than career politicians because they're just in it to keep their, constituents and.
Oh yeah, it's all a damn shell game in the end, man. I don't know how you even if you have trustworthy politicians in there, I don't know how you get out of the mess that we're heading toward right now. I mean, I'm definitely open to hear solutions, but I haven't really.
Yeah, well, our Liberal Party won, so everyone was happy about that because it's like, yay, Conservatives are in power for another 4 years. But at the same time, the Liberal who won he has done a lot of lefty type things, and we haven't been happy with his, like, he banned Milo Yiannopoulos. He's a moron. But he's not that bad, but he has been in the past pretty lefty.
I understand. I understand.
He's everyone else we've had so far, so, but he's still not, like, great.
Well, let me shift subjects on you just a little bit here. There's something I wanted to talk about a while ago. We haven't been doing shows lately, but I don't know if you've heard about Alyssa Milano calling for a hashtag sex strike. This has cracked me. This has cracked me up.
The best way to prevent abortion.
I know this topic's been hot in the media here lately, and we've been Anthony and I have been doing a whole bunch of shows on it, and we've been writing articles. I just posted another article about the abortion topic.
I read one. Yep. I read one of your articles
about the meta conversation that's going on. Was that the one you read, or did you read the one about the 50 other? Huh?
No, the one about abortion that you asked me to read.
Okay, you read the one about the 50 other choices. That was, Yeah, I wrote that one a while ago before, but this new one's a little different one. It's about the meta conversation going on underneath the surface. But that aside, and if anybody wants to check that stuff out, head over to unframeofmind.com. I've got all my content there for you to peruse. Anyway, so Alyssa Milano gets up, says, "Hey, we don't like these abortion laws. We're gonna have a sex strike. You know, I think all ladies should not have sex with their men until the rules are changed, so women have control over their bodies." And it's like you said, it's like the exact, like, you couldn't ask for a better possible solution to the problem to begin with.
Right. Yeah, she's fabulous. I love that she's become right wing. It's so fantastic. No more sex.
Right. The inadvertent right winger. Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's just so let me ask you this. There was we were talking a bit ago about taking responsibility, and then the fact that you were told many times not to hang out with this guy. I'm going back to the previous topic, kind of, but just as a jumping off point. I have a friend. It's not me. This isn't me saying I have a friend that's actually me, but I actually do have a friend, a female friend.
It's really hard to believe that you have any friends.
See, you people. I mean, you're right.
No, I'm not. Go ahead. Keep going. What's up with this girl?
That's what. Shh. Anyway.
What the hell are you drinking?
I'm drinking a giant ass glass
of Coke with lemons in it?
Sweet tea.
Oh, okay.
It's what us Southerners do. We drink sweet tea. It's like I think as soon as you enter the South, there's actually a billboard you pass with like a list of laws, and one of those is thou must drink sweet tea to be a part of this community.
All right. Well, if I ever visit you in the United States, in Tennessee or wherever the hell it is you are, I'm not drinking that tea.
A rebel to the end, aren't you? A rebel to the end.
Yeah. Oh my God, I have to take off my cardigan.
So
yeah, and so what's up with this girlfriend?
I feel like we're playing a game of strip poker, and I'm not participating.
It's all right. It just really corroborates my hooker story.
All right, you done? Are you done removing articles of clothing for a moment?
Hang on.
She said, "Hang on." I'm almost done. All
right, sure.
So this friend of mine, she's a friend. She's been dating this guy who is, in my humble opinion, is a worthless piece of shit. He's either into drugs or at least was into drugs and is supposedly now getting better. He's got all sorts of he's got a court case he's supposed to be a part of. It's just he's just basically an idiot and a loser. He's like one of those good kids that gets wrapped up in dumb shit and then continues to spiral out of control. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So yeah. She's got it in her head that this dude is like a really good dude. He's a really good dude, you know, and she's gonna fix him. She's gonna make him all better. And meanwhile,
Jesus, I've been down that road with Neil and with several others. It just doesn't work. Yeah. Doesn't matter how much you pray for someone, if they're not willing to change on their own, it doesn't matter how much good you think you can influence. It just doesn't work. And I've learned that the hard way, and I've learned it publicly, which is more embarrassing.
That's what I was going to ask you about. You learned it very, very publicly, and it's like she has everybody around her trying to tell her, and she will not listen. She will not. She just thinks everybody's against her. Everybody hates her. And it's like the exact opposite is true. Like, we all love you. We're all here for you. We're on your side. We're just standing on the outside looking at this going, if this were anybody else, so just out of curiosity, I'm trying to wrap my mind around it, because it's like, even if you lay out all the facts, like, you know, you lay it out step by step. This is the reasons why this is not a good person for you to be around. And they still don't listen. Like,
I persist. I can tell you why. Is she a Christian, out of curiosity?
Kind of.
Okay, so the reason I ask that is because, in my view, as someone who is a Christian, you give people chances more than you would a normal person.
Mm-hmm.
And she probably sees something in him that no one else does. I see something in someone one-on-one. If someone is kind to me, and if I see how they interact with people on an individual level, Like people say, oh, this person's racist, this person's a Nazi, this person is this person is that. And then you witness, whilst you're with them, how they treat a waiter, how they treat a parent, how they treat a friend, and you see, oh, they're kind, they're not that bad. Other people are exaggerating, other people are lying. So you take those things on board. And so she's doing that. She's noticing how this guy is with her individually. He probably is okay with her. Maybe he's a dick here and there, but the good in her mind probably outweighs the bad. The facts don't matter because the emotional attachment's already there, and forgiveness is such a big deal. Like these people who are bad, like if a leftist came to me and they'd been nasty to someone their whole life or something, but then they were really nice to me, I would be stupid enough probably to give that person a chance because I believe in forgiveness and kindness. So that's probably that's probably what it is. She's not going by anyone else's opinion because she sees what no one else does. She sees something that you don't see.
Man, I could understand forgiveness and kindness, but to the point of self-destruction, that's or to the point of ending up having consequences to everybody else around you. I mean, this guy's already ended up in the newspaper like 2 or 3 times now over this same thing. He's already been arrested. He's already,
Girlfriend. Your girlfriend's man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a piece of work. It's a straight up piece of work. I don't understand
but
it.
Are his criminal convictions for activist purposes? Are they
No,
like
it's
the movement?
For drugs.
Oh,
for selling for selling drugs, for paraphernalia, for possession.
Sorry, but I'm Colombian, so what you're saying is offending me. No, just kidding.
I understand. Yeah, I understand. For your night job, you actually need some of these drugs to make it through the night. I get it, but but at least you're not dealing, or are you dealing?
No, my mom does that.
Okay, thank you for clearing that up. Appreciate that. Good Lord.
Yeah, well, the difference between your friend and the people who I was hanging out with was what they did was, in their view, for the greater good. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you see, that's a huge difference. This guy is he's not going anywhere in life anywhere soon. He just does not. He's not very brave. He's a coward. This is just based on my own observations. I'm usually pretty good about reading people. Actually, it's not a pretty good. I'm
his boyfriend. I'm going to get you to talk to him. Yeah. And you're going to give me the 411.
Hey, absolutely. I wish somebody would take me up on that, because 9 times out of 10, I can look at somebody and I can interact with them within about first 30 seconds. I know everything I need to know about you, and everything else beyond that is just me trying to justify my feelings or me trying to talk myself out of And I've learned.
I'm obviously a great.
You're fine. I have no problems with you. It's just there's been too many times in the past where my gut tells me that something's wrong with this person. There's some aspect of them that I don't like. My gut just, I don't know. I can't pinpoint it. I don't know what it is, but my gut's like, dude. What it is. And it just over time you tend to start to figure out to trust that feeling. It's like, oh, okay, I see what's going on here.
It's God.
That's probably what it is. It has nothing to do with like billions of years of evolutionary instincts that, we've been.
Because you said you don't know what it is and it's in your gut. You are an individual.
No, I know what that is. I don't know what it is about the other person that I'm not quite liking. That's what I mean.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I understood it.
Yeah, I'm glad I could clarify that for you. Good Lord. Is that all we're going to do all night, is take digs at one another?
Well, that's how our relationship works.
I know. It's like almost abusive. Like, I would say it's almost an abusive relationship, but that's okay. That's okay. So,
spoken to like James Fox Higgins, are you going to do another segment for his show? You did one ages ago on individualism. No. Was it individualism? No, labels. You haven't done one
labels. I had planned on it, and I'm working on one, and he gave me some feedback. I've been so covered up. We've actually had to cancel a couple Wednesday shows, and I apologize to the audience for that. But we've had to cancel a couple shows due to a bunch of family things going on, a bunch of just chaos in general. Anthony's in the process of moving. He's got to move from his place to another place within 3 days right now, so I'll be helping him Friday after work. It's just too much going on at the moment. And so for me to take on that additional thing for his channels puts mine on the back burner, so I got to kind of pick priorities. That's all it is. But it's not that I haven't. I've got content ready to go. It's just a matter of actually recording it and then submitting it at this point.
Sure. Because you and James Fox Higgins are have good channels. You do. You both have really solid channels, and it's good that you guys team up, I think.
I hope something comes. I hope something comes soon. Some video goes viral. Somebody sees it and they're like, "Oh shit, yeah, I love that," and they share it, and then it just hits. It's a matter of time, I think. But we're working. We're working on it.
Well, I should do something again.
I'm sorry. One more time.
The three of us should do something again.
Yeah, I'm thinking next time I moderate.
Oh no! What would we do? I can't debate him.
No, I need you to go up against that verbose intellectual man.
I don't know what we would discuss, and he would clobber me with whatever subject. It could be women driving on the roads or whatever. He would clobber me.
Yeah, maybe. But it would be fun to watch.
I think our politics are pretty aligned anyway. I don't know what we disagree on. He said on an episode of the Uncockables that he and I don't really align politically, but that's not true. We do. Not everything. So I don't know what we would debate.
Sounds like we're taking the opportunity to give everybody a little inside baseball on the game right now on everybody's channels.
Well, yeah, go ahead.
Well, the difference between this show and my normal shows in the past is this time I didn't bring any notes. This time it's just we're just having a conversation without a structure. So I feel a little bit because I'm used to using the notes and using them as a timeline to figure out where I need to be so to just kind of be out there, it feels like a little bit different. So this is fun. It's all right.
Well, if anyone's interested, last night I interviewed Australia's first female to be, she's a convicted criminal under these new laws in Australia where if you are within 150 meters of an abortion clinic and you try to convince someone to keep the baby, you are arrested and you are a convicted criminal. And that's in almost every state of Australia. So I interviewed her last night. I think it was an exclusive, having her on my channel. And you guys don't have these stupid exclusion zones in the United States because you can lovingly approach someone and give them a pamphlet and let them know that there are other options out there. But in this country, we can't do that. The only way we can convince someone to keep their baby is maybe through pamphleting, maybe through doing it at a train station or at a bus stop, just letting people know generally speaking. But how are you to know that that person's about to enter an abortion clinic? You don't. And so
that makes absolutely no sense.
Just to change the subject, because you were talking about Alyssa Milano, that kind of relates to that. It's just retarded, how censored our country is becoming.
So basically, sorry, you said they cannot be within 150 feet of an abortion clinic?
Meters. I don't know what meters is.
Meters so it's meters. Meters is 1 meter is about 3 feet. So we're talking 450 feet from.
Yes.
Let's just say
an abortion clinic.
Let's just keep it at meters. You said 150 meters. So basically, in order for them to lock out any kind of people trying to convince you not to have an abortion, you just have to have another abortion clinic every 295 meters apart from one another and spread them throughout the whole country. And then nobody can talk about nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, just basically turn every gas station and church into an abortion clinic. And then there you go.
And you're arrested.
Problem solved. Yeah. No signs.
That's the law.
Yeah, that's the see that is one thing. I'm glad we have the right to free speech. Or sorry, at least it's not that our government gives us the right to free speech. It's that our government, our government recognizes our right to free speech and allows us to have it. That would be a more accurate way of putting it, because everybody has. One more. Go ahead. Sorry.
Ours is not there. Keep going.
Yeah. Yours definitely not there, but it's like I think everybody has these, for lack of a better phrase, these God-given rights, and our state just kind of recognizes that and allows for that. Your state says, well, we don't care what God says or what rights you have. We're gonna say you can't. This is the law, and if you don't like it, you can leave. And it ends up making for a bunch of these really weird, disjointed laws that kind of, and especially as different people kind of shift in and out of power. It's the same thing you've seen throughout history as people different political parties gain control. Everything keeps shifting, and then the laws that the last party made don't quite fit with the new laws, and then the next set of laws don't fit those, and it's like, come on, guys, we got to have some kind of like basic core document here that we work from, and then go off that, and that's it. That's simple.
That's part of why we don't like the current prime minister, even though he is a conservative. He's, I think, the one who enacted these laws. It's like, what the hell are you doing, bro? But it is a state-by-state thing, actually. It's a state-by-state thing, and only 2 states don't have those laws. And the issue that comes to mind is that we have an implied political freedom of speech. It's implied. It's not outright the way it is in the First Amendment, because you guys have 10 amendments, and the first 2, like the right to bear arms, and we don't have the right to bear arms, and we don't have a right to free speech, but we have an implied right to political freedom of speech and religious expression. So by that implied right, it's unconstitutional that she's now a criminal. It makes no sense. But she can still have it overturned in the High Court. This is Catholic Club, if anyone is interested.
So the High Court is something similar to our Supreme Court, then?
We have a Supreme Court as well.
Oh, so what's the difference between the High Court and the Supreme Court?
You know what's really bad is that I studied law for 2 years, and I forget.
Not hard enough.
So you have the Magistrates Court, the County Court, the High Court, and the Supreme Court. So I think the Supreme Court is the highest in the land.
Okay,
but
so
please don't quote me on that. I feel like an idiot because I should know this, and this will make me look really bad to those watching.
Let's just assume take what you said as true. Then you have your Supreme Court and you have your High Courts. The High Courts would be similar to our circuit courts that we have. You constantly hear about liberal judges from the Ninth Circuit Court.
Exactly, because she's trying to have it overturned, and so to have it overturned, you need to go to a higher court, obviously. So you need to go one up in the hierarchy, and she's a woman with 13 children. This is a pro.
Yeah, that sounds like a mess, a complete and utter mess. Just anytime you try to tell people what they can and can't say and can't, it's like, even if it's something as innocuous as just, trying to convince somebody to change their mind, regardless of what the subject is, like, that's definitely state overreach if I've ever seen it. And
it absolutely is. And our country's going slowly downhill. And that's why I have this channel. That's why I do what I do. By way of me being of them coming to the source, and by way of me just holding and recording someone and then coming at me individually, which I would never do to them. I would never come at them individually for the mistakes that they make publicly or otherwise. It shows that our country is very, very quickly going downhill. I think it's just obviously on a smaller scale. Not to say that it doesn't happen in the United States. I know that the left do the same thing over there.
Yeah.
To individuals.
Oh, we've got somebody saying greetings from Scotland, UK. That's what's up. Hello. Glad you could join us.
Hello, Scotland and UK. See, Scotland and UK is already going downhill. Like, they've banned Lauren Southern from the country. They've kicked out Brittany Pettibone.
Which is ironic because they have such wide open borders and this very loose border policy, but yet.
Yes, but these 2 little white girls, that can't have them in here. They're too dangerous.
They are very dangerous. Like, you put them in a swimming suit, they are going to cause accidents. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Just be happy you're parked right now and Lauren Southern hasn't tried to walk in front of your car.
Exactly. I've met Lauren Southern.
I'm so jealous of that, by the way.
I'm sure you'll meet her someday. I'm sure she'll do something in your side of town. Maybe.
Oh, you mean like, okay, sorry. My mind, forgive me.
What the hell are you thinking?
Don't worry about it. That's none of your business.
Fair point. But Yeah, the UK has these ridiculously horrible censored internet laws. Like in Australia and the USA, we're good on that front. We can still mostly have our freedom of speech. And aside from the fact that YouTube is American and censors anyone who is a conservative, we're not as restricted as the UK.
Mm. No, I have seen some of that, and I think that's part of the reason why you're able to actually get some kind of a conservative politician into power, because people are able to actually say some things that they're allowed to say some things, not everything. They're allowed to say some things.
Yes, it's not that bad. It could be worse. Yeah.
We're just not allowed to yell fire into a crowded movie theater, which that's like never in history ever has that happened. I don't understand why that's even a thing. People use that as, well, we already restrict free speech rights by saying that, you can't yell fire in a crowded movie theater. Like, okay, like, seriously. Like, even if that does happen, I'm sorry, people aren't that stupid they're going to stampede the place. And even if they do stampede the place, somebody probably needs to earn themselves a Darwin Award for being so stupid, at any rate.
Well, in Australia, you're not allowed to say bomb at an airport.
So like, you're like, oh, that's the bomb. They'll be like tackling you in the middle of the aisleways.
And I just said, "Oh my God, there's a bomb," and my friends got really angry at me. I didn't say it so loudly, but I did say it just to see what would happen. Nothing happened. But like, if I'd said it really loud and I ran around saying, "Oh my God, there's a bomb," I'm sure I would have been arrested.
So, our friend from Scotland says, Captain Seakelt says, censorship is rife over here and will be going that way globally very soon, I think. Sad day for free speech. Well, my friend,
to happen in Australia or the USA. He's probably not wrong.
Yeah, no, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think there's enough people possibly waking up, and I think with channels like our channel and with other people like us, shouting from the rooftops and sharing and talking to people and convincing people, I think there's enough people starting to wake up that maybe there is a chance that the balance can shift. I mean, we're starting to see populist. Yeah, we're starting to see more populist type politicians getting into power that are actually listening to the people. The people are not the problem.
Brazil, Trump, Italy.
Just recently, yeah, Italy, yeah.
Yeah. Who else? I can't think of any more right now. But yeah, like. People are getting into power that no one's expecting to get into power. So that's really good. That's a good sign. There's a resurgence that is looming in the air, which is great.
Yeah, there's something happening. And I'm just happy that, we're still at a point where the biggest worries that like you would have is losing your job because of something you said versus losing your life because
I lost my job because I recorded someone.
Yeah, I mean, that's really not that, the grand scheme of things, that's really not that big of a sacrifice. That's,
it really is.
You talk about World War II veterans, losing limbs in trenches, and all sorts of atrocities that we're not nowhere near that yet. So I think we're okay for now. I think we'll be fine as long as we keep
North Korea.
Yeah, as long as we keep up the direction we're going and we keep up this steady drumbeat of warning people, waking people up. Basically, I don't like the term red pill anymore because now I call it the red enema, because you want to help people pull their head out of their asses. So that's what it's going to take. People, all the people that want the red pill have had the red pill by now. So now it's time to go out there by force and start giving people red enemas. Okay, that's the next move.
Red enemas, I like that.
Yeah, you should have seen the meme I made about it. I'm surprised you didn't see it.
No, I don't think I did. I'll share it if you relink it.
Oh yeah, you need to see it for sure. It's wild. At any rate, so that's one thing that we're looking at is just just keep doing this, keep doing what we're doing. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna find more employment elsewhere. I'm sure. You're still surviving. Your friends and family still love you.
Yeah.
Well, your nieces don't know any better, but otherwise they would probably hate you too.
Yeah,
just
maybe.
Just to be clear,
I'm an acquired taste, that's for sure.
Gotcha. All right, well, listen, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up right about now. I think we've had a pretty good conversation, and I appreciate you coming and hanging out in your hot car for us. I enjoyed the slow striptease throughout the course of the episode. Really. You are not gonna do that. You were way too modest. Hey, but when you did that, I lost like four viewers. So I think the
Wow, my body must be off-putting. I'm skinny.
I think what it was is they just didn't want the illusion to be ruined. You know, right now we've got this illusion, but if you take off the shirt, it's all, you know, we've seen it, guys. We've seen it too many times. Am I right? I mean, like quick story. I know one girl sit there and she is so fake, so fake. She's got fake extensions in her hair. She wears a booty.
Oh.
She wears a booty pop to make her butt look, you know, nice and bubbly.
Hips don't lie. Real.
Yeah. Yeah, and she wears a push-up bra to make her boobs look bigger. She wears all sorts of makeup. You know, just, you know, I don't even know what she really looks like. Yeah, like that. And then to top it all off, at one point she was taking Saran wrap and wrapping it around her belly like a girdle and holding everything in, rather than doing the fucking work to lose the weight.
That's insane. That's far too much work.
That is a very insecure person.
Yeah,
That's what
very
that is.
insecure.
So I say all that to point out that that's what if you take your shirt off and we see all that, the whole thing's ruined. So everybody just left.
I'm real. See? No push-up bra. Just flat.
Just flat. Well, I appreciate your honesty. That's what we can expect on Dia's channel. So if y'all want to check her out, be sure to head over to her channel and check out her content. She's out there. She's out there putting out the good word and basically throwing out the equivalent of digital pamphlets for the rest of the world, just like we do.
Mm-hmm.
And
Absolutely.
I suppose, with that being said, y'all been watching yet another episode of the Unframe of Mind Show. I'm your host, Daniel Wagner, and this has been another uncomfortable conversation without a condom. Peace out, y'all.